Okay, so this is the question on sentence placement. So what is given to us is the sentence, and the sentence says that, just a second, I need to drag it. So it says that this sense of detachment would allow us to see the bigger picture rather than getting caught up in our own feelings. Okay, so basically, the sentence, this sense of detachment, so maybe the preceding idea to this sentence is going to talk about that what this is basically referring to it, right? So we need a clearly antecedent, right? And it says that this sense of detachment would allow us to see the bigger picture rather than getting caught up in our own feelings. So maybe the preceding sentence to this will going to talk about, right? We are getting caught up in our own feelings. Now, the correct answer to this question is option number four, that is the blank number four. Now, let's understand why blank number four is indeed the correct answer to this, right? We're going to understand the sentence also and the passage also, and then we're going to talk about it, right? So that's the case. Let's say here now. Illism is the practice of talking about oneself in the third person, okay, rather than the first person. So I ki jagah, what we are talking about is that we wala concept, okay. So that's basically the sentence is talking about, right? Now, caught up rather than the first person. The rhetorical device is often used by politicians to try to give their words an air of objectivity. Okay, definitely the answer cannot be the option number, the blank number one. Okay, because it actually breaks the challenge. So breaks the continuity. So it talks about that Illeism is the practice of talking about oneself in the third person rather than the first person, and the rhetorical device. So what is this rhetorical device is actually your Illeism. Okay, so that is the case. So putting the sentence here, okay, will kind of, I mean, like this is will just disrupt. So would allow us to rather than getting yeah, rather than, so what is that bigger picture and this sense of detachment? What is this detachment? Okay, I mean, like you're calling this as the sense of detachment, okay, but it says that it allows us to see the bigger picture rather than getting up caught in our own feelings. Okay, so detachment sentence I would say would be very premature here. Okay, because the paragraph hasn't yet introduced the idea that kind of Illism yields emotional distance or cognitive benefit, which will be there in the coming part of the paragraph. Okay, and also we can say that the next sentence immediately gives a use of it, right? कि यूज क्या करता है उसका, the case is the politicians. Okay, so let's see here, Abhi, this is more getting into just the explanation of what the Illism is, right? Now it's the next thing is the rhetorical device is often used by politicians to try to give their words an air of objectivity. In his account of Gallic War, for example, the Emperor Julius Caesar wrote, Caesars avenged the public rather than I avenged the public. Okay, the small linguistic switch seems intended to make this statement feel a little more like a historical fact recorded by an impartial observer. To the modern ear, Elysium can sound a little silly or pompous, and we may even deride famous people who choose to talk this way. Okay, definitely two cannot be the answer. Okay, because यहाँ पे जो अब आ गया है, so this is now talking about Elysium can sound silly or pompous. Okay, and they say, right, और उसके बाद में अगर let's say, yet recent psychological research suggests that Elysium can bring some real cognitive benefits. Okay, so this is going, okay, so the pattern is criticism and contrast. Okay, just a second, what happens now? So I was recording one RC passage. Let me just do that, right? Okay, so yeah, so this is talking about jo pehla wala hai, that is talking about kind of criticism, okay, and another is kind of giving the contrast for it, right? So missing sentence could in theory contrast the decision by stating a benefit, but the paragraph already signals that contrast with yet करके, okay, या तो यहाँ पे होता कि the sense of detachment, okay, yet the sense of detachment, but वो नहीं है यहाँ पे, already इसका आ गया है. Okay, if we are trying to make a difficult decision, speaking about ourselves in the third person can help to neutralize the emotions that could lead our thinking astray, allowing us to find a wiser solution to our problem. Okay, so they say that realism can bring some real cognitive benefits. If we are trying to make a difficult decision, speaking about ourselves in the third person can help to neutralize the emotions that could lead our thinking astray, allowing us to find a wiser solution to our problem. Okay, the idea makes intuitive sense. By switching to the third person, our descriptions of the situation will start to sound as if we are talking about someone else rather than ourselves. So this is again continuing with the same idea. Okay, ये सेम ही आइडिया बोल रहा है, इट्स काइंड ऑफ अ रीस्टेटमेंट, ओके। सो ये भी बोल रहा है कि टू फाइंड अ वाइसर सोल्यूशन टू आवर प्रॉब्लम, ओके, बिकॉज वी आर अलाउइंग टू न्यूट्रलाइज द इमोशंस, ओके। इट इज ऑल्सो सेइंग दैट वी आर टॉकिंग ऑफ समवन एल्स रादर देन आवरसेल्व्स, सो इट्स कंटिन्यूटी, यहाँ पे ये नहीं आ सकता, ओके। नाउ ऑप्शन 4 इज द करेक्ट आंसर बिकॉज इट सेज दैट दिस सेंस ऑफ डिटैचमेंट, ओके, वो डिटैचमेंट कहाँ पे आ रही है, ओके। सो ब्लैंक नंबर 1 पे से आ रही है ना, वो सेंस ऑफ डिटैचमेंट, ओके। So now this sense of detachment, कौन सी sense of detachment? Because it feels as if we are talking about someone else rather than ourselves. Okay, allows us to see the bigger picture rather than getting caught up in our own feelings. Okay, same ideas, the same tone and the same echo words. So whether I'm facing trials at work, conflicts with my friends, or strife in the family, I find that a few moments contemplating my problems from a third person perspective help me to see the issue more clearly. Okay, so that is the case that the correct answer to this question is your blank number 4. Okay, because again अगर हम paragraph को देखें तो blank number 1 नहीं हो सकता because it just starts with the definition of illism. Okay, and बताता है कि क्या है. Okay, फिर then it gets into the historical account of Julius Caesar वाला है. Okay, then it says that कि मे बी उसको जो मॉडर्न पर्सपेक्टिव है उसको मजाक बनाएंगे, सिली और पॉम्पस बोलेंगे. ओके, they say no, but there are the cognitive benefits to it. Okay, and then paragraph concludes with an explanation that Illeism makes it seem as if you are talking about someone else. Okay, so that gives a kind of ignore the personal a perspective and helps in understanding the problem more clearly. Okay, so rather than getting caught up in our own feelings. Okay, so that's the reason that situated right after option 4, I mean like placed right after the idea that the Illeism makes description sounds like they are talking about someone else. Okay, so that a sense of detachment, okay, clearly is being justified. Okay, and moreover it allows to see the bigger picture rather than getting caught up in our own feelings, and that is what the author says, that problem scope will help to see issues more clearly. Okay, that's the case. I hope you got this right.